Hi friends, welcome in. I am so happy you're here. Um, so my name is Floriona from Floral Flare Studio, coming to you live. Um, this is going to be fun. Today we're making something beautiful. Um, Not just beautiful, I would say beautiful and simple. So it's beautifully simple, nostalgic. What we're making is a rainbow paper chain. This is one of those crafts that takes me straight back to childhood. Um, it's just so cheerful, at the same time peaceful. Um, it's repetitive in the best way possible, and it's kind of the perfect Sunday project, I think. We have, I don't know, what is it, like 5 more weeks until Christmas? But honestly, I don't think that these paper chains are exclusively a Christmas decor type of thing. Um, I think they're just so cheerful, like I was saying, festive, like mood boosting. So I, I definitely plan to use these for, I don't know, birthday parties, um, just anything that's celebratory. And I also am working on a, let's call it Valentine's Day. I can't believe I'm saying this word, Valentine's Day paper chain as well. So I'm showing you guys exclusively first. Um, it's basically the same concept but making hearts. And of course the placement is a little bit different. So I know it's early for Valentine's Day, but you know, us crafters, we have to think ahead because, you know, especially if you're a slow crafter like me, we like to craft slowly and plan things ahead and work on things over time. So, but the chain that I'm going to be making today is actually this one, this style. As you can see, they all, well, not all, but these two look different. And the only difference is the size of the strips that I used. So today I am using, hold on, let me show you guys, where are my strips? There they are. Today I'm using these strips. They are, the size of each strip is 1.5 inches in width by, is it 6? Yep. Wait, no, hold on. No, it is 6. So 1.5 by 6 inches to create this style. As you can see, it's a little bit looser. There's a little bit more space in between the links. Hi, Nicolina. And so, yeah. So now for this garland, the width was, if I remember correctly, 2 inches wide, and then I think the length was 6 as well. So you can experiment with all kinds of sizes, dimensions, but also paper. I'm using cardstock, 65-pound cardstock. I got this rainbow pack from Target. It was on sale from this brand called Astro Designs, which I think is the same brand that was called Astro Brights, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I love the colors, and like I said, it was on sale, so I got it. But any kind of paper works. Wrapping paper, printing paper, anything works. That's another reason why I love this project. All right, so as I am getting my supplies ready and together, tell me where you guys are joining from, and let me know what colors you'll be using today. I'll be using rainbows. I would love to use, you know, like a pink and red one, or like a green and red one too, but my theme is a colorful, crafty Christmas, so I'm making these garlands to add and complement my existing decor, which again doesn't have to match, but yeah. Oh no, what happened to our music? Okay, so in addition to the paper, I will be using glue. You can use any kind of glue, or even no glue at all. So some people will use tape. I've also seen people use a stapler to staple the pieces, the links together. Whatever works for you. I love using this glue. This is the Bearly Arts Precision Tip Glue that you guys know that I love. But to make this, I actually used hot glue. So again, it depends. Let's see if I forgot anything. If you haven't cut the strips, I used a paper cutter. I'll show you guys what that looks like. This is what I used. It has the blade there to cut the strips. You can use a cutting machine, you can use scissors, obviously whatever you prefer. So I'm ready to get started. Just remember, before we start, I typically do this in my mind, but it's nice to also say it out loud too. It's nice to set an intention, right, when you're starting whatever practice. But remember, this practice specifically is about slow creativity, calm hands, calm mind. We're making for joy, not for perfection. And you know, little mistakes, we welcome them. They give our pieces personality. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bend, curve our strips. Now, if you're using a paper that is thin, you don't need to do this, but since I'm using cardstock, this is 65 pound, there's a bit of weight, thickness to it. I like to do this extra step just to facilitate, like when I'm gluing the pieces. You can also use a bone folder. Hello everyone. Thank you for being here. And so now it's super easy to add our glue. I'm gonna add a little bit on the edge there, and then the other piece is going to overlap slightly. And here we have our first link. Okay, now what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh yeah, I was going to say, if you want like a seamless look like this, then use the same length, right, or the same dimensions for all your strips. But you can be creative and whimsical and all of those things, and in that case you are welcome to experiment with, why not, different sizes, different dimensions, different widths of your links. You may have also noticed that I am doing like a color gradient type of vibe with my links. You're welcome to mix and match the colors, do it all one color, mix two colors, put the colors in random spots. So there's many different ways that you can do this. But the technique is the same. You're going to form the first link like we did, and then for the second one, you're going to, after you shape it, if you need to, you're going to thread it through the first link and then glue it. So you cannot glue the other links separately. You have to thread them through so that they're intertwined like so. Oh, thank you so much, Lizzie. XOXO. I'm curious to know where you guys are watching from. I know that there's people watching obviously from all around the world. I'm in the US, East Coast. And let me know what you're crafting, if you're crafting along or if you're just watching with a cup of coffee, which I wish I had. I forgot to make coffee. And yeah, let me know. Now, I am not going to use all of these for this specific design. I'm going to use 4 strips of each color. So I'm just gonna like set the rest aside so I don't get confused and sidetracked by my conversation there. And then I also have arranged them, like I said, in a gradient color gradient type of vibe here, but it really depends on your preference. But yeah, I meant to separate these, but I didn't. I was not very organized this morning. Do you keep your craft supplies organized, or are you team chaos like me? I would love to know. Another thing that I love about the about using cardstock is that like the thicker cardstock is that I think it holds the shape a little bit better. I mean, I've seen them made with so many different materials, like velvet and felt and fabric, and I do love the different looks and the different effects, but I don't know, man, there's just something about paper that I think looks really, really cool. So even though I am a felt girl too, I love felt, I think that the look of paper is just really cool. All right, I have set aside all of my pieces, so this is really how much I'm going to be using, but I had everything together, don't ask me why. So this is a bone folder by the way that I'm using, and I think I'm gonna keep using it because it's just, I don't know, I like how easy it is to shape my chain, the links. If you don't have a bone folder and you are using a thick cardstock like me, what you can do is use a pencil, a marker, anything that's a chopstick even. We were talking about that a couple of lives ago. So anything round, or it doesn't even have to be round really, but like long, smooth like that will work. But your hands as well. Les papiers sont à combien de centimètres? Ok, alors j'ai mes mesures en inches. Donc, donne-moi un moment pour faire la conversion. Okay, so 2.5 inches in centimeters. Donc, c'est 6 centimètres et donc 6 cm et 15 cm, ce sont les mesures. So someone asked me about the dimensions of my strips. Okay, so the next color I'm gonna go with is gonna be this light purple. So I'm just trying to be mindful of my color gradient here. But again, this is just one way to make the paper chain. I would actually love to see what it would be like to have one with just random colors. You let sort of let your intuition choose the colors. I just finished a project like that, which is like an oversized flower, and I kind of was just like in a flow state, and I wasn't thinking about I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I wasn't thinking like strategically what color to use. I was just going with the flow, and it was really fun. I just realized how long it's been since I've spoken French, and I feel so rusty. J'ai oublié mon français. So I'm happy whenever I have the chance to speak another language with you guys, whether it's French or Spanish or Italian, because I do love languages. It's just that if I don't have a reason to practice them or speak them, it's hard for me to carve out the time to just do it just for fun, you know. Alors, the next color I'm going to be using is this blue. And again, I should have totally like organized these in advance, but I guess it was a bit of a chaotic morning. Some things happened like unexpectedly. But hey, that's life. So Sandra is asking what are the dimensions of the strips. So these strips, Sandra, are 2.5 oh my gosh, I am totally like 2.5 inches by, right? Is that what I said? I'm forgetting now. No, it's 1.5 by 6. 1.5 inches by 6. Oh là là, je vous ai donné les dimensions. Donc c'est 4 cm. 4 cm par 6. Désolé, Corentin. So I will add the dimensions in a comment here if I can. I don't know if I can do it. I haven't done that many lives on here. There is a plus button. Oh, there we go. I will have to figure that out. But yeah, the dimensions are 1.5 inches by 6. 1.5 in width, 6 inches in length. And then for this one, which is a little bit different, these are tighter. Let me show you guys, because I have a bunch. For this, the dimensions were 2.5 by 6. So yeah, I think it's really cool how changing the dimensions of the strips really changes the look of the paper chain. Now, if for those of you who want to recreate this exact look, right, the gradient colored look, what I'm doing is basically I'm using 4 strips for each color, and that creates that like good like area of color. I don't know how to say it, but you have 4 strips for each color, and then obviously I try to keep the same shades of each color next to each other. That way, as you're transitioning from one color to the other, it's more pleasant to the eyes, more aesthetic. The colors look like they're blending into each other. Thank you, Sandra. Oh my gosh, Roblox. How old are you guys? Make sure, am I using the right one? Yep, that's it. And then in terms of glue, like I mentioned earlier, pick the glue of your choice. I find that hot glue works pretty well. And then the craft glue works pretty decently as well. It depends how thick your paper is too. If you're using thinner paper, for example, I would think that the craft glue might take a little bit longer to dry. Oops. So you'll have to experiment and see what works best for your kind of paper. But this is how it's coming along so far. Oh my gosh, there's 104 of you. Cool. Um, Good morning, Mercedes. Welcome. So for those of you who are joining right now, we are making a festive paper chain. We are taking Sunday morning. Well, for me, it's Sunday morning. I don't know what time of the day it is for you guys. So let me know where you're watching from. I would love to know. But for me, it's Sunday morning, and so with Christmas in the air, I thought it would be the perfect time to make this paper chain. And like I was saying in the beginning, for me it's pretty nostalgic because it reminds me of the paper chains that we would make when I was little. But of course it's also very different too, because when I think of the paper chains that we used to make, is this the right one? Yeah. Basically in Albania, it was very different. First of all, it was impossible to find paper like this. Pretty paper was just super hard to find. But we did have some colored paper. We would call it like pundore. So it was colored on one side, white on the other side. And that's mainly what we used. The colors were not bright. The colors were sometimes questionable, but you know, it didn't matter to us. It was fun making it together, decorating our classrooms, our homes, the windows. It was just so fun. And it brings me right back. Even though, you know, I didn't have like a fancy paper cutter or like craft glue with precision tip. It really was special. The memories are just as special. Okay. And then I also remember we used to use cotton balls. We would take cotton balls and just glue them onto the window, and there was snow. So I'm wanting to bust out my cotton and decorate my house with it, because this year I am feeling very nostalgic. I mean, I always do, but for some reason this year is more, I don't know, I'm just feeling it more. So stay tuned on that. I'll keep you posted on what I end up doing. But yeah, I love like the noise that it makes, the flexibility that it has. It is so cool. Very cute, if I do say so myself. So yeah. Let's see. But yeah, you can do this with kids as well. It's a very kid-friendly project. I was doing it with my daughter earlier. She's 7 and she, I don't know, she really liked it. So it can be a whole family craft night project. You can be just sitting in front of the TV, watching a show or a movie or whatever, and still work on this. But it's very relaxing. I love the repetitive nature of it. I love that you don't really have to, you know, think too much, unless you're like me and you disorganize your strips and you have to put them back together, but you know what I mean. It's perfect if you're like listening to a podcast, or if you just want some like peace and quiet, some meditative crafting. So it's coming along nicely for me. I'm gonna keep on going. My daughter just came to tell me that my husband is watching the live. I guess she's watching too, so hi honey. Thank you for the support. Like and subscribe. Down below.
Good one.
Oh my gosh. Feel free to add any comments, guys. Don't be shy. Just remember to be kind. Ask any questions for those of you who are crafting along, or if you're crafting along, just tell me what your colors are. What's your color? What's it called? Color scheme. I'm always inspired by different color combinations. One that I would love to try would be a, oh my gosh, a white paper chain, right? All white, but the strips or the borders are dipped in glitter. I think that would look so pretty. I don't know if I'll have time to do that, but just putting an idea out there for anybody who is looking for inspiration. But I think that would be very winter wonderland, or even like a very light blue with silver glitter. I think that would look very pretty. So, yes, I used to make these at school too, Deborah. That's why I was saying earlier, it just makes me so nostalgic because it brings me right back to those like exciting times at school. It was like everyone is, you know, participating, making something together. It's fun. It's just, I don't know, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But like I was saying earlier, I can see myself using these not just for Christmas, but whenever I want to feel cheerful or for a birthday party. I don't know. I really like the handmade, perfectly imperfect effect. Oh, and the noise. So cute. Well, I'm finished with my cool colors. I'm now going into the warm colors, as you guys can see. I don't know how I'm doing in terms of timing. I guess, yeah, I've been live for about 30 minutes, which is good. I don't know. I don't want to be live for more than 45 minutes, I think, because I don't know. That is just the limit that I assigned myself for today. And that's how long I thought it would take me to complete the chain. But as always, I am just getting sidetracked left and right, which is fine. So Deborah says, what are you going to do with them? So these are gonna go in my tree, my Christmas tree. I don't know if I'm also gonna add some like on the, like above the windows, you know, like on the, hanging from the ceiling. I wanted to do something like that too. But yeah, it's going to be probably both, I would say, but at least the first thing is going to be my tree for sure. My tree right now has exclusively only paper decorations, which I'm really proud of. My whole entire tree is decorated only with my paper ornaments. Yeah, not even paper flowers, it's paper ornaments, the baubles, the lights, some gingerbread houses. I haven't done a reveal yet, a full reveal yet, because I'm still working on the backdrop, so like what's behind the tree. But I can't wait to show you guys. And so yeah, my whole like theme, if you can even call it a theme, the theme sort of created itself. It's basically colorful, all sorts of colors. It's crafty, handmade, and so I thought that this would complement that perfectly. I can definitely see these being used in a classroom. If I were still teaching, I would definitely use them. Would have a very nice crafting session, craftivity with my students. Yes, these colors are very pretty. I love them. It's my first time using the paper from Astro Designs or Astro Brights. I guess they changed their name. And I am pleased. I'm pleased with the colors. I'm pleased with the texture of the paper. But like I was saying in the beginning, any kind of paper works for this. That's why this is the perfect, simple, cozy Christmas craft, because any paper you have at hand. It can be thick cardstock paper like this, or it can be printing paper, wrapping paper. You can use paper bags. Actually, my husband was telling me earlier this morning that they used to use toilet paper rolls or like paper towel rolls, unless he was messing with me. But either way, I mean, that's a great idea. You just cut the paper towel roll or toilet paper roll to form the links. So yeah, any paper you have at hand, any glue you have at hand, any size you have at hand. I'm really curious to see what a paper chain would look with like different colors, not different colors, my gosh, different widths, like different size links. So the strips basically would be different sizes. I think that would look cute. I'm also wondering what it would look like if the size of the strips were like scalloped or with a design like that. I mean, there's just so much you can do. Oh, another idea that my husband again shared with me this morning would be to mix it up with like lights, twinkle lights. That would be so pretty. Look at my paper chain. It is looking pretty. What do you guys think? Ah, I love it. Love, love, love. So I have 4 more colors to add. I'm going to do it. Committed. I think even if it goes more than 45 minutes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Isha Yabin. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. I don't know if I missed your guys' answers, but I don't know where you are watching from. Let me know. I'm curious. What corner of the world did my video reach today? Scotland, UK, cool. Thank you, Deborah. Awesome. I'm originally from Europe. I'm originally from Albania, more specifically. And so when there's followers from Europe, people that are watching, connecting with me from there, it makes me happy. even though Europe is big. You know, it still makes me feel like, oh, my neck of the woods. All right, so now which one do I do? Okay, yeah, I go with this one. This is such a cute peachy pink. I love this one. Pennsylvania, USA, yes. Now this is my neck of the woods. My current neck of the woods. Awesome. And I am in Maryland, for those of you who don't know. So, yay, East Coast. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite childhood craftivity. Do you guys have any specific craft projects that remind you of your childhood? I would love to know. Sometimes the simplest projects can be, I don't know, the most fun. So, and I say that because I used to think, oh, you know, it's just why do something that you used to do as a kid? Like, I don't know, I had some resistance there. But why not? It really, I don't know, it's really grounding. It really helps you reconnect with your old self too. I think it's always good to connect back with your old self, your younger self, and it's not necessarily like going back, like it's not a negative thing. Like, doesn't mean you are not advancing. On the contrary, revisiting your old self as an adult can be very healing and very enlightening. Like, you can find out things about yourself that you didn't know, maybe you had been like repressing, I don't know. Anyways, oh, I don't need that. Oh, I don't need 1, 2, 3, I need one more. Cool. Oh, thank you so much, Heike Stoll. Oops. And we are approaching the end. My last color for this paper chain is red. And I'm so excited. Now, so far I have kept like each rainbow set separately, but you could also put them all together so that they're like one big garland and the rainbow sort of repeats. You could do that as well. I don't know if I am going to do that eventually or if I'm going to keep them separately. I don't know yet. I think what's going to help me decide what I'm going to do is also how I'm going to store them. Like right now I have the best way to store these, I think, would be, if you want to, obviously you don't have to store these, but I think I will because I'm using thick cardstock, and this cardstock can stand the test of time if stored properly, obviously. as long as you're not exposing it to, I don't know, the sun, like direct sunlight, for a long period of time, or extreme like humidity and heat, then you're good. So I plan to store this, save it for next year, and so far the best way to store this that I have been able to come up with was to put it in a box, in like a bin. So I'll keep you posted. If you follow me on Instagram, I do post a lot on there in my stories and stuff, a lot of behind the scenes, so I would probably share it on there. And then if it's something that's, I don't know, groundbreaking, I will share it on my feed as well. But that's where on Instagram stories, that's where I share like my day-to-day stuff. And here is my paper chain. I don't know how to show you guys because it's, you know, camera is like just pointing there, but here it is. It is so pretty. I can't tell you. I think the colors in real life look even better, but here it is. I love how you can twist it, curve it. Super cool. I really love it. And another thing that you can do to add some more like whimsy is you can, if you want to, you can attach like gold stars onto some of the links, or you could make a little gold star garland and add it, like keep them together, right? To add that little whimsical touch. But yeah, this is it for today. Actually, it's 9:45, so I did make it to my time limit, 45 minutes. So super happy about that. But I'm mostly happy that you guys hung around with me, crafted with me, interacted with me, shared some of your experiences, connected with me from across the pond, and of course, my daughter is reminding me that I am also very happy that my husband was able to watch this live. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate your support. And I will catch you on the next live next weekend. So stay tuned for more. Happy crafting.
Next weekend?